do physically. It helps to think positive about it.
Of course. So those who are thinking negatively, the filter, which is the mindset they've set, is negative. So the outcome is going to be negative. As far as the water that passes through the dirty filter, you get an outcome of dirty water. In the same way, if the filter is what? Is clean, the outcome is going to be what? Clean water. So if you think negative, then what you are going to experience will be what? Negative. It's as simple as that. And you see, these things, we don't really dwell on it. It's so sublime, but that is what is causing us not to maximize productivity, whether with ourselves or with the organization that we work for. So, for example, a target is set and somebody thinks that this cannot be achieved. So be it. So be it. The moment you say it cannot be achieved, you have created a limiting belief in which that is a ceiling you have created, that beyond it you cannot get to what? That pinnacle of success. And last week we talked about the investment in skill set. So what we are saying is that there have to be an equal investment in mindset. Because that can also be very dangerous, and that can even impact the organization more than the skill set level. Okay. So one of the most difficult things to identify during interview is the mindset of the person you want to employ. You cannot identify whether this person is negative or not.
It's not hard to see the mind's construction in the face.
Exactly. So this is where Train to Inspire Consultancy, we want to work with organizations that we've developed a framework where there are certain specific questions that you can ask that will bring out the mindset of the person and not only the skill set. Because most questions at interviews just brings out what? The skill set of the person, the experiences they've had, but not the mindset they carry. All right. So in this 21st century, employees come from different backgrounds, race, tribes, cultures, with different mindsets. How do we drive these differences to drive a particular mindset in the organization? Somebody is coming from the north, another is coming from the east, another is coming from the west. They're from different backgrounds. They've got different level of qualifications. Their exposures are different. Some has been to Europe and America. Some has never been to even... I know people who have lived in Accra all their life. They don't know Kumasi. That is level of exposure. So you employ all these people and you are not able to align their mindset to the vision of the company. That company is going nowhere. You have to be intentional about trying to drive a particular mindset, and that is culture. Your culture should drive that. So if the organization doesn't have a very good culture, then what happens? That is going to really destroy the organization. It's going to affect productivity. It will not help the organization to maximize its potential. Why? Because everybody entered the organization with their mindset. Look, everybody that enters Joy FM, that you employ, enters here with their mindset.
That's correct.
Do you know some people, where they live, if they make 2,000 Ghana cedis, they are the big boys in the area. Do you know that?
Yeah.
So when the person comes and they are earning 1,000, don't know, over time you move them to 1,500 and 2,000. That person in his mind has really reached the glass ceiling, because in his area he's a big boy. But your vision as a company is to drive this person to earn 50,000. So do you know the limiting belief somebody walked through this door to come and help this organization to grow? But the mindset is that if I hit this level of salary, I'm okay. So there has to be some level of intentionality to drive a certain mindset.
It has to be deliberate.
It has to be deliberate.
And intentional.
But most organizations don't even do it.
We're focused on the skill set and the functional aspects.
That's it.
But you're saying here that, granted that you have the skill set and the functional abilities, the mindset is also important, because otherwise it's like you're pouring water into a basket of holes.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
We can't do it.
No.
I don't know why they're wasting time.
No.
You know, you're going for a sales pitch.
Yes.
Even this one, another team has already been there. Why are we even wasting our time? They are bigger than us.
Yeah. But you guys,
put your mind to it, you can do it.
You can achieve it. So an employee with a fixed mindset will not harness their skill set because they believe talent, intelligence, and skill set cannot be improved. So the organization has not even been able to identify that this employee has got a fixed mindset. So how can you drive that person to have a growth mindset? So, yeah, this mindset issue we are having is becoming very critical, right? As a country, our president said we need a reset, right? The foundational reset we need is the mindset. Because you can invest in infrastructure, you can invest in resources, you can invest in technology, but if the mindset that backs it is wrong, it's a waste of investment.
Yeah.
Because the mindset must align with the research we want to do. And that should be where the investment is. So I believe there should be a national campaign of a mindset change, at least for 6 months, but it's like the year of return. We started it, and today it has become a culture, right? And that is how we will move from here to here.
So the mind must first change.
If it doesn't change, all the investment we will do.
Talking about it, I remember one of our ex-presidents said something at some point. I think it was President Kufuor at some point. And he mentioned about the work culture of certain people in certain ministries. And he says that so long as we continue to pretend to work,
Yes.
he will continue to pretend to pay us. I know it's a controversial conversation, but the point is that sometimes people feel that
Yes.
or even in private sector,
Yes.
oh, it is for him, it's not for me,
No,
he's the boss.
This is the only country I hear people saying that is the job for you, is the work for your father.
Yes, you hear that.
I get so sad that if those who are working hard, others laugh at them. Every time you are here, every time you don't even go on holidays. There have to be some overhauling of our minds for us to be productive. Yeah, I've got a lot to share. Let me go on. There is something we call the Pareto rule or the Pareto principle. It says 80% success is mindset, 20% is skill set. So now I want organizations to understand that all these years, for decades, for centuries, that all your attention has been on skill set development. The Pareto principle is telling you that success is 80% mindset. Do you know why? Because you can teach me to do basic finance in 3 months, for me to balance books and write checks and do basic stuff in 3 months. But I cannot change mindset in 3 months. But if you have got the person with the right mindset, within 3 months, the next 3 months, you see that person is improving. That person is improving. And over time, within a short space of time, that person can be doing a serious accounting work. Why? Success is 80% mindset. Because it's a mindset that drives the skill set. Okay. So skill set is what you have mastered physically. Listen to this one. Skill set is what you have mastered physically. And mindset is what you have mastered psychologically. What you master psychologically controls what you master physically, because the mind controls every facet of your life, including skill set.
I agree. I agree.
So the psychological bit is the driver of your success or failure in life. So El Nightingale says, what we plant in our subconscious mind and nourish it with repetition and emotion will one day become a reality. The word here is you nourish it with what? Repetition and emotion. So repeatedly, Ghana is difficult. Ghana hard. Ghana is difficult. Ghana hard. Then it becomes even emotional. It means that you have engraved the word Ghana hard in your subconscious, such that even if opportunities come, you're going to say this is tough. This is not going to work. To the extent that to the extent that some people think in this country somebody must hold your hand before you get a job. It's a mindset. And as far as nobody has held their hand, they think they cannot achieve anything in this country. But I've seen people that didn't know anybody. They went out knocking doors and one opened over time.
I'm looking at one of them. And I tell people that, contexts are different. Everybody has their own path. But what we're saying here today is that have the right mindset. Because when you have the right mindset, it gives you the right lens.
Yes.
People are going from here to other places to make it work. You came from London to Ghana.
Yes.
Some
are going through the desert, right? That's what you want to
say.
So yeah, I'm going to talk about some powerful success stories that depicts the power of the mind, right? And one of the things that I've realized that sportsmen and sportswomen, they are one of the people that have got powerful mindset. Because the things they go through for them to wear that medal, it doesn't happen on a silver platter. Now, I want to talk about Andrew Agassi. Andrew Agassi, at a point in time, he was 30th on the tennis league rankings.
World
rankings. Then he employed Anthony Robbins. Now, the key here is that Anthony Robbins is not a tennis player. So Anthony Robbins didn't engage Andrew Agassi to teach him how to play tennis. He engaged him for him to cause a shift in the mind, for him to believe that he can do what? He can succeed.
Yeah.
Fast forward, Andrew Agassi moved from 30th to become the first. Number one in tennis ranking. Right? What does that tell you? It means that you can have all the skill set, but if there's no shift in the mind, if you don't believe you can achieve it, if you don't have the right mindset, skill set doesn't matter anymore. And that was what was happening to Andrew Agassi. Yeah, 2022-2023 season, Kotoko contacted me. Yes. Kotoko contacted me that things are not going on well because prior to that, Kotoko they haven't won the league for 8 years. So I flew to Kumasi, had some discussions with the coach, CEO, and other people, some of the players, then identified some problems, and I did a session for them. Yeah, like Anthony Robbins, who is not a tennis player, Oscar Bimpong is not a footballer. So I didn't go there to teach them the right skills they need to succeed, but I went there to cause a paradigm shift in their minds. Yeah, after the session, they were in the middle of the table. They started winning, coming up, and they won the league for the first time in 8 years. I'm not saying it's because of me they won the league.
It's because of you. If I'm not saying it, I'm saying it for you.
I want to say it with humility. But I can tell you there was a shift. Indeed. Because these guys, they are the Chelsea's, House of Folk and Asante Kotoko, they are the Chelsea's and the Man United of Ghana and Africa.
Arsenal will come for you.
Oh, don't worry, I didn't mention their name. So, if these people, they are the best in the country, why is it that they are not getting the right results? Yeah, this is what they wrote about me on all their platforms after they won the league. So they say, mindset revolution session with the players earlier in the season played a significant role in our league victory. As demonstrated by Oscar, the mind is a powerful tool, and our victory signifies the same. The mental fortitude of our team has been immeasurable, and we can't underestimate the value his session added to our season. We celebrate with Oscar, and we endorse him wholeheartedly. Keep helping institutions to reach their full potential. Asante Kotoko is grateful.
Has my club called you yet?
I'm waiting.
They will call you. You know where I'm going. I don't want to go there. Let's continue with that show.
So,
yeah.
This, my situation with Anthony Robbins' situation, that he is not a tennis player and I'm not a footballer, but we went in and caused a mindset shift that caused a winning mentality for them to achieve their goal that they've been fighting for all these years should tell you that you can have all the skill set in the world, but if it is not backed with the right mindset, you will never be able to achieve your goal. Right. And yeah, this goes to organizations. Stop concentrating on only skill sets. It's about time you invest in the mindset of the people that you employ. And that is even more paramount than investing in skill set. But we are not saying don't do that, but we want an equal investment, if not even more, from the side of attitudinal change at the workplace. So Kotoko proved that employing players with the best skill set is not a guarantee to win the league. However, the best talent with the right attitude towards work is very critical to winning in the marketplace. Yeah, I'm going to talk about a guy called Nicholas McCarthy. Nicholas McCarthy is a one-handed pianist, the whole world. Yeah, do you know what the white keys and the black keys are for? They are designed for two hands. Nicholas McCarthy, as a child, fell in love with the organ, the piano. But everywhere Nicholas went, the experts told him that you can never achieve your goal to become a one-handed pianist.
It can't be done.
It can't be done. Then Nicholas said, I am going to prove everybody wrong. So Nicholas was training 8 hours a day with the left hand. Playing 8 hours. 8 hours. Yeah, this is what I tell people. That Nicholas had one hand, but he trained 8 hours. You have got two hands, and you think life is tough. Life is never tough. Nicholas succeeded with what people with two hands are achieving with one hand. What does that tell you? Your mental fortitude is what will break any glass ceiling. And that is why organizations must look out for. If a target is said, you have to have employees in the room that will say, we are going for it. It doesn't matter how tough this is. We are going to fight and what? And win. Now, Nicholas has now been playing in concerts across the globe. Why? Because Nicholas had a mindset that I think it was very unwavering. Yeah, every time I'm traveling to London or I'm coming to Ghana or I'm traveling across the globe, there is one thing I do. I always watch documentaries of sportsmen. That is what I do. And I watched the documentary of Tiger Woods, and it was powerful. The mom said when moms were taking their children to the park, he was taking Tiger Woods to the golf park just to go and play and see people playing golf. Now, Tiger Woods at the age of 14 was interviewed, and he predicted that he might be like Jack Nicklaus. Jack Nicklaus is one of the best golfers in the world. Or he's going to be like Michael Jordan in basketball. He said this at the age of 14. And today, that dream is fulfilled. So look at the mindset of Tiger Woods at the age of 14. The person that you have employed that is 40 years. If he had a negative mindset at the age of 14, you should know that the organization will never maximize its potential.
I want you to hold those thoughts there. I want our listeners to be a part of this. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass, and we're having some very profound and insightful, thought-provoking conversations on the power of mindset here with Oscar Bimpong in the studio. We'll take a quick message from our sponsors. When we come back, we get interactive.
Your favorite on-air business development program, Joy Business Masterclass, is in session, and you can interact with us on Facebook via the Joy 99.7 FM or Joy Business pages. If you tweet, the handle is at Joy 997 FM or at Joy Business GH. Don't forget to hashtag JB Masterclass. You can also call us on 0302 216541 or send your questions and contributions through to the WhatsApp number 0551 111997 and our facilitators will address your concerns. Attention everyone, class is in progress.
Welcome back. If you've just tuned in, this is Masterclass. We're interactive right now. Numbers to call 0302 216 541. That's 0302 216 541. You can also send us your comments on 055 1111997. That's 055 1111997. Pick up that phone, give us a call 0302 216 541. Very thought-provoking conversations here in the studio with Oscar on the power of the mindset. Perhaps you have some experience. Maybe you're a manager, you're an employee, you're a CEO, you're a general manager, or you're an employee, and you have had some kind of experience or interaction with the power of mindset. Maybe your own mindset has helped you at some point, or it hasn't. Pick up that phone, give us a call, 0302 216 541. Let's share those thoughts so that we can all learn from it. Life is too short to make all the mistakes ourselves. If you have a motor vehicle of any kind, great news for you. GOIL has some wonderful news for you. Good Energy brings you GOIL Super XP, the ideal choice for most vehicles. It is flowing wah-wah at many GOIL stations in the country. Just go fuel up your vehicle and enjoy the smooth ride with all the benefits. GOIL Super XP is quality and gives you the correct choice when buying regular fuel. GOIL Super XP is fortified with a special additive that gives longevity to your engine and makes your engine perform to the max, using minimal fuel, and it's also suitable for most vehicles. GOIL, Good Energy, GOIL, Yanara, Yedia. Today's edition of Masterclass is brought to us by GOIL. GOIL, they say Good Energy, GOIL, Yanara, Yedia. Lines are open, 0302 216 541, or send us your comments on 055 1111997. You know, while waiting for the phone lines to ring, let's keep sharing.
Yes.
But as you speak, my mind goes to people like Thomas Edison, light bulb, Abraham Lincoln.
Yes.
He tried 51 times before he became president
Yes.
of America. The Wright brothers.
Yes.
They were flying all over the world because the Wright brothers didn't give up. How many
Yeah.
times did they fail?
Too many.
The story of penicillin. There's just so many of the examples, and
Yes.
if only we will not stop
No.
at the first or second or third or fourth fails, the sky is the ceiling. I mean, and even the ceiling is beyond the sky.
Oh yes. Yes.
Anyways,
So
go ahead.
there's one personality I really want to share, and that is Usain Bolt, right?
Right.
So Usain Bolt's first international race was in Athens Olympics 2014. He was not in the first three positions. Actually, he was fifth. That is last but one. But at the time, Usain Bolt has been breaking all the records in Jamaica. The world was really looking up to him, that he was coming to do some magic in Athens 2014. And the guy was not even in the first three. Usain Bolt had two options. The first option is, wow, I didn't know like the international level is so tough. Next time if I come, I'll come and do my best. Or he told himself that I'm going to be the fastest man on earth. So there are always two scenarios to a story. And he became the fastest man. The fact that you didn't succeed today doesn't mean that you'll not succeed tomorrow. But what you do between today and tomorrow is what is going to bring the difference. And this is where Usain Bolt said, I trained 4 years to run 9 seconds. Consistently for 9 seconds. Which highlights the extensive dedication and time required to achieve peak performance. Yeah, you don't get peak performance by being idle.
Or trying once and stopping.
Yes.
God help us all.
Yes.
God help us.
You know, I don't know whether I told you about when Muhammad Ali was asked how many push-ups that he can do. Yes.
Please repeat what he said.
He said, I don't count my push-ups. I only count it when I feel pain.
Some people stop when they start feeling pain.
So you can see the disparity of mindset. Weak minds people start counting when they start the push-ups, and when they start feeling pain, they stop. Strong minds,
That's when they start counting.
that's when they start counting. So imagine you employ these two sets of people. When the going gets tough, there are people in the organization that says, let's keep going. But there are people, before we start, they say, no, this one, it cannot be done. This target, we can't.
And we'll give you 1,000 reasons why it cannot be
And
done.
the reasons, it makes it makes so much sense. So much sense.
And sometimes it sounds convincing. Look at it. Why don't you channel your resources elsewhere? You are wasting time. You are wasting resources. It can't be done. Trend analysis tells you, they'll give you a bucket full of reasons.
Do you know how many people that have tried to convince me that what I'm doing is a waste of time?
If they're listening this afternoon, I'm sure after you share the Kotoko example,
Yes.
they'll change their
No,
mind.
yeah. You see, I always tell people, don't do too many things, right? The market of the average is not valuable. But do one thing and be distinct in that market. That is where you win. But it comes through the challenges is unbearable. You see, that is why some people will never achieve their goals in life. Just because of the mindset they carry. Because if it was easy, nobody will go to Kantamanto market. Everybody would like to go to Accra Mall. But because it is tough, that toughness it separates the weak ones from the strong ones.
And that's really the order of life. I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So, I'm going to tell you a story of a person that went to the hospital and the person was injected. So when there was a test. So when the person went for the test, the person realized that he's got HIV, right? And the person went home, and within 2 weeks, the person moved from this big size, where you can even count the ribs of the person. I'm talking about the power of the mind.
Lost
right?
weight.
He lost weight drastically. In about 2-3 weeks, the hospital called him, and there was a panel, nurses, surgeons, and doctors, and they were like, "We are very sorry, sir. We gave you somebody's report."
Hey.
The person was not sick, but the fact that he was diagnosed, he moved from this big size to the extent that you can count his ribs. That is the power of the mind.
Yeah.
The mind can make you or it can break you.
Yeah.
It's a dual platform. What you feed it, it is going to harness it and give you the best of it. I read an article, and the article was like, people who are diagnosed with cancer, it is not the cancer itself that kills them, but it is the idea that they are going to die. I was on Joy Prime. There was a guy that was after me, and the guy is a surgeon at Kulebu. He was coming after my interview. When I finished, he shook my hand, and he says he's the head of whatever at Kulebu. This guy said what I'm saying is true. He says anybody that he has sat in to tell the person that you got cancer, he says those that says, "Hey, I'm going to die. Yeah, this one, they say there's treatment." Or say majority of them dies. But those that tells you in the face that I'm going to fight this I'm not going to carry this cancer. I'm going to make sure that this cancer, I will fight it. And he said majority of them wins.
Hold that thought for me. I've got Otega in Dowenya. Name is Gabriel Danso, aka Otega. Good afternoon to you, Otega. Otega says, "Good afternoon, Yaw. I've been to interviews that not a single person was employed by the company because a lady told me that they will not take you. Stop worrying yourself." And it was true. None of us was employed because their mind is fixed through the back door without us, knowing that I was positive, but at the end of the day, it was a fruitless and wasteful exercise. What do you say to that? So someone told him that it won't work, and then he still had a positive mind about it, and he went and it still didn't work.
It could be many factors. You can have the positive mindset, but I didn't go and deliver. You understand? It could be many factors. Why is that nobody was employed?
Yeah.
People didn't probably go and do, people have to do due diligence when they are going for interviews. You need to understand the vision of the company, the core values. There is a lot you need to learn about the company. Even the CEO. You should know things about the CEO. Where is the company going? So if you go and you don't deliver, then probably you're going to not be picked. They will look for the next set of people to interview.
Yeah. So Otega, it could have been any other factor, but clearly your positive mindset helped. And it could also be the fact that we said Abraham Lincoln 51 times before he became president of America. It could be that it's just a test. Don't stop. Keep trying.
Keep trying.
And your positive mindset.
Keep moving.
May yield result at some point.
Yeah.
I've got Elvis Datson on social media. Elvis says, good afternoon. Determination with action really leads to success in life. Bless you, crew. Thank you so much, Elvis. Phone lines are still open. Numbers to call 0302216541. Or keep sending your comments on 05511111997. Surely, I'm sure you have a lot to say about this mindset conversation. So please pick up that phone. We want to hear your thoughts so that others can also learn from it. I've got a quick story. So I think in 2003, I was part of the University of Ghana handball team.
Okay.
And we played the West Africa University Games in Cape Coast.
Yeah.
At that time, University of Winneba were the silver medalists or silver champions for the whole of West Africa. And we, University of Ghana, who were not ranked, were going to meet them. So we arrived, and at that time, I wasn't captain of the team, but I was, I think, deputy captain. So I walked to the field. Nobody was there. And I walked the field. I'd learned that from other sportsmen. And I took in the field. I took notice of the lines. I noticed that the poles we had trained with were round pipes, but these were square pipes. I noticed that the lines were thicker. I noticed that the space was slightly different. I imbibed all of that in. Long story short, they had a goalkeeper that no one could score in the whole of West Africa. We scored that.
Wow.
And we won. University of Ghana won that game.
Wow.
And I'm the one who scored him.
Wow.
Because I went to that field with a certain mind, and I infected my teammates.
Yes.
And we had a mind that said no one could beat us. We ended up playing with Tech, who were also defending champions. It was a very tough game. These were the best handball team in the whole Ghana, 2003. And we beat them.
Wow.
So the power of the mindset you're saying, I've also experienced it personally.
Of course, of course. And you know, some people, some football teams, they lose the match in the dressing room before they go on the field. It's a mindset thing. How can we score this?
Do you think the Ghana-Brazil game, we lost it in the dressing room? Hey, Brazil! And here, even when we tackle them, then we hold them. But you can't blame them. I think these guys were legends. We're playing with legends. It was enough to be on the same pitch with them.
But that is what I'm saying. Some people lose the battle in the dressing room before they go on the field. Yeah. And it's the mindset. It's the mindset. They are like, so I'm going to play against Ronaldo. Is Messi in the team? We don't have no chance. So they've lost the battle before they go on the field.
Yeah.
I think you have in your book.
Indeed. I still have a book here to give away. Like I said at the beginning of the show, this one is Mindset Revolution. It's called Re-Engineering Your Mind from Prison to Purpose. And Oscar is giving that away to the first caller on the show today. You don't have to answer any question. Just be the first caller and you win that book. Numbers to call 0302 216 541. You can send us your comments on 0551111
So,
997.
Yeah, I've got something here I want to share. I think
ahead,
it's almost time.
Go ahead.
So there is this man called Henry Curtis, yeah? I think Cortes or whatever. And he was an army general of the then New Spain. In 1519, Cortes landed in Mexico with his army for a war. What Cortes did shocked everyone. He set the ship on fire and told his army that their comfort zone that they will use to retreat when the going gets tough has been taken away. You either win the war or die. That is a mindset. A lot of people have got plan B in life. And in Cortes' dictionary, the plan B would have been the ship that if the war gets tough, they are going to run away. But he told his army people that comfort zone has been taken away. What this tells you is that for you to succeed in life, there are certain comfort zones you need to take away from your life. And that comfort zone you need to take away is that ship. So it means that there was no plan B for them. They either win or die. That is the mindset you need whenever you set target in any organization. If you carry a vision, that is the mindset you should have, that I'm going out there to win or I die. A lot of people have got plan B. And the plan B is that if A doesn't work, I'm going to do B. No, change the strategy of A, go back again, change again, go back again until it works. Unless you don't believe in a vision.
I mean, there's a story told of a sage and his apprentice who were traveling and helping people, and they got to a village, very poor family, very poor family, and all they had was one cow who was making milk. Now, they said the pleasantries. On the way out, they met the cow, it was grazing. Then the sage pushes the cow over the cliff.
Wow.
And the apprentice was like, how can you be so wicked? You saw this family and what did he says, yes, I will explain to you later. They came back a year later. The family was a wealthy family.
Wow.
And then he told his apprentice, he said, because they were relying on the cow for milk. When the cow was no more, they had to survive or they would die.
Yes.
And that's what pushed them to become wealthy.
Wow. That's really powerful.
We could go on and on, but that's all time will allow us.
Yes.
What's our takeout from today's conversation? What should we look forward to next week?
So, next week, we're going to talk about the imbalance of skill set and mindset and its impact on the organization. And our takeaway is that I want each and everyone here, if you got a small business, if you carry a vision, if you're a big organization, you must start to invest in mindset transformation for your employees, equally the way you've done for skill set all over the years. Because you've left the mindset for so many years, what it means is that there is an imbalance. And for us to bring a balance, we must raise the bar of mindset change in the organization. And I'm going to end with this quote by Gil Borden. He says, I tried and failed. I tried again, and succeeded. And that is what mindset is all about. If you want to contact me or and my organization, you can call us on 0555 803 924. 0555 803 924. 0555 803 924. Yaw.
Thank you so much. I mean, we can keep going and going. There are a lot of examples jumping at me now, but that's all time will allow us. This has been Masterclass here on the Superstation Joy 99.7. A truly exciting and thought-provoking conversation, but that's all time will allow us. God willing, next week we come your way with yet another exciting edition. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you same time next week.